Hey, what's up guys, Andy here, and today we're reviewing over Fairy Tail episode 307, titled Gray and Juvia. Now, this episode was very, very good in some ways, and piss poor in another way, but that's my opinion on it. We'll talk about why I think that in the video itself when we get there, but overall it was a really good episode. They used really good recap. I mean, they kind of recapped a little bit too much in my opinion, but not so much to where it was bad. We got to see a lot of stuff happen in this episode, and the fight is starting to look like it's not gettable. But you know how Fairy Tail is. When something looks completely impossible, that's when opportunities start opening up, because that's what kind of show this is. That's where one of my big hate, not really hate, my big, I don't know how to explain it, my big problem with the show. This episode, something happened that should have stayed how it was. But, yeah, we'll talk about all that in a minute, but it seems to me like, we're about to have some infighting between Demetria and Demetria. Is her name Demetria? God dang it. And Brandish. I can never remember her name. Diamantra. You know who I'm talking about. The blonde crazy bitch with the time magic. So, we got that to talk about. But, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on my Instagram this week. So, if you want to check that out, at The Last Exorcist, links in bio. You can check that out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further delay, let's go ahead and discuss episode 307 of Fairy Tail.
They say you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone in the world out there.
So the episode starts off kind of right back where we were, where the chains were put on him, and Invel says, "Go ahead, you may fight to the death." And that's when they both kind of look at each other, and they start losing control, and he says, you know, everything was calculated. Gray's gonna win this, and when he kills Juvia with his own two bare hands, it's gonna lead him to, you know, his heart turning dark, and he's gonna be crazy pretty much. We cut into the intro here, which, you know, still a really lovely intro, but instead of going back to that, we cut into a flashback of Invel and Zareth talking, and he asks Zareth, what's that pendant you always wear? And he's like, he's Natsu, he's my little brother. And this is the pendant from the intro, which is really cool to see. And then we cut into our title card, and it's titled Gray and Juvia. Now, you'll know why right here, because Juvia says, "I'm glad I met you." And she's prepared to kill herself, and she goes for it. She pulls it up, and she says, you know, I've still got a little control left. This is what I'm going to do. She stabs herself. At that moment, though, Gray stabbed himself, too. This was a very powerful scene, and it was, you know, Romeo and Juliet-esque. And as Gray's going down, he's like, "Natsu, please avenge us." But we find out that Gray isn't actually dead, which I liked this. This part made sense. She used her blood, water make magic to use a blood transfusion, which it kind of makes sense, not really, but it was a good way to save Gray. Juvia is pretty much confirmed dead here. Gray goes psychopath. Like, I mean, he's screaming and hollering, and they do a huge flashback sequence. Like, I mean, I think it was like 4 minutes, maybe longer. But it kind of recapped their whole relationship, and it was really nice. But it went a little too far and had a little too many pervy scenes. But he's sitting there crying, and he's, you know, he's hurt really bad. You can tell that. Then we cut to this, and he is pissed. And he goes up to Invel, and Invel says pretty much, "I imagine you're too injured to fight no matter what at this point," and that's when he just fucking decks Invel. And we cut over to Brandish talking with Natsu, and she's telling him, like, "I'm sparing you all, but I'm about to go slaughter all your friends. You all really don't stand a chance." And we get this nice little cut between all of the scenes here. Like, we got Elfman and Lizana fighting Agile, which they're about to die there. Mira Jane getting her ass kicked by Jacob. I mean, she really doesn't stand a chance there, but Wall beating the shit out of Minerva, and Rogue getting the shit beat out of by Bloodman. I mean, like, it's not looking good. We get this really cool. I loved this. Like, this is my favorite scene in the entire episode. Because after all of that despair, you just see Juvia's dead body laying there. And we cut back over to him just walking up to Invel and knocking the absolute dog piss out of me. Breaks his glasses and everything. And then Invel pretty much says, he's like, "You're gonna make me use it, aren't you?" Absolute ice shroud. Anything this ice touches instantly, he said, like, it instantly freezes and cracks, like, shatters it. So, like, even this can affect Gray, apparently, but we'll talk about that. Because it cuts back over to Natsu, and she says, "You don't know how terrifying Fairy Tail can be." Playing off of what Brandish said, you don't know how terrifying the Spriggan 12 are. Which, really powerful stuff there, and we cut back over, and Gray used the properties of his absolute ice shroud to his own, and then he just starts unloading fury hell on Invel. Like, it was really cool to watch. He uses Ice Devil Zero Destruction Fist, and he pretty much takes out Invel right there, and not much you can do at that point. Invel's done for. We cut over to Brandish and all them again, and Nineheart walks up. He looks badass in this scene. He says that Irene used his augmentation magic, and he says, "Brandish, move out of the way." And then Brandish is like, "My magic's not even working on him." And that's when Natsu says, "You know, fuck this, I'm fighting him." And Brandish says, you can't beat him, he's too strong." And he goes, "It's about moving forward or not, you know, this is his thing. This is the path that will lead them forward back to their guild." So, really cool stuff from Natsu and Gray this episode, and we kind of find out why in a minute, but this is my problem with the episode, this scene right here. I hate this. Wendy saves Juvia. No, Juvia should have died here, in my opinion. I love Juvia as a character just as much as everyone else, but Juvia should be dead. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She should have been dead. It would have made this so much more powerful, but Invel tells them right here, you know, Gray says it won't bring her back no matter how much I beat you, and he's like, "Or your father, mother, or master. None of them can come back until you complete your prophecy of killing E.N.D. And he's like, "You don't have to tell me that, I'm going to kill him." He's like, "But you don't know who E.N.D. is." And he tells them, Natsu. And you see, like, I can't explain it any better than Gray's face. You know, he tells him he's your true foe. And Gray is like, he's like, "What?" And that's the end of the episode right there, gang. So, holy shit, next week is going to be the huge fight, the comeback scene. And then Gray and Natsu are going to go at it. So, I hope that they do something. But in my opinion, like I said, I love Juvia, but it would have made this episode so much more impactful if she would have actually died. Like, I love that she's back, but then again, I'm pissed because her death would have been so much more meaningful right there if she would have died. But I guess, you know, this is a friendship wins everything story, so okay. But yeah, that's my take on it. Loved the episode, loved everything about it.